Hello, everybody. It's Brenda. It's Monday. It's a new week. It is a new coaching topic. Wave took like 2 minutes to connect. I was like, are we ever going live today? Weird. Technology, y'all. I'm telling you. Okay, so it's a new week. Every Monday, I publish a new blog post, and this week is all mindset. We're working on mindset, friends, where I want to give you some ideas of how to shift what might be some negative mindset into something super positive. I'm going to show you real live data of mine. So stick with me. I'm going to literally show you my data and I'm going to show you how to find your own. Okay. So the topic this week is all about embracing the mindset of being a micro influencer. Micro influencers, friends. Hello, my friend Betsy. So nice to see you guys. Wherever you're tuning in from, shout out. It is early afternoon here in Phoenix. It's a beautiful day. It's about 100,000 degrees outside. No, it's not that hot, but it is very nice outside. So here's what we're doing today. This week's topic is about embracing the mindset of the micro influencer. Now, what is a micro influencer? The micro influencer is somebody who has, say, 500 to 50,000, maybe 75, 100,000 followers. Okay. You're not a Kardashian. You don't have a million bazillion followers. You've got like a nice small amount of followers. Okay. And you might be thinking one of the things that plagues all of us is I don't have very many followers. I only have 100, 200, 500, 87 followers, whatever your number is. Okay. You might be thinking, yeah, but my follower count isn't very high. Has that ever felt that way? You guys, tell me in the comments how many followers do you have on your, let's say, your smallest social channel? On your smallest channel, okay? My smallest channel is, let's see, I think YouTube, around 1,100 followers. Very micro. And it's mostly you guys, okay? My biggest channel is my community group, my Facebook community group is about 60,000 over there. But still, micro influencer. I'm very specific in one little niche. If you think about your follower count and you're thinking, I don't have very many followers. I'm not making a big impact. Oh, this is the mindset we're going to work on this week, friends. And I'm going to ask my moderators to drop the link to this week's blog post in the comments so that we can work on this mindset. The goal here is that we're rethinking the impact we make in a more micro way. Now, here's the thing to really think about. When you're looking at your engagement, when you're looking at your audience, okay? When you're looking at your audience and you're thinking, how do I know if my engagement's good? How do I know if my data is good? How do I know if I'm making an impact? There are some very reliable metrics that we can look at. Okay. There are some very predictable, very reliable metrics that we can look at. And I'm going to show you those numbers. I'm going to literally give you the numbers to think about. The bigger the influencer, the people who have 1 million followers, because we look at the big followers, right? We look at the big influencers and we're like, yeah, that they have like 1 million followers. They're like so much more impactful than me. We all do this, friends. We all do it. Every one of us has looked at somebody, quote, bigger and said, but they're making so much a bigger impact. They must be making way more money. Their community is way more engaged. That's not necessarily true. The bigger the audience, the lower the general engagement rate tends to be. And here's the reason why. And this is the super silly example that I use, okay? Do you really think that Kim Kardashian is responding to her own Instagram comments? Do you really think she is? Of course not. Do you think that I'm responding to my own comments? Darn straight I am. I respond to all of my own comments, right? I'm a team of one. I do all my own content. I do all my own community management. I do all my own comment moderation. The smaller your audience, the more trusted the audience the more trust the audience has with the creator. The smaller the audience, let me say that again. The smaller the audience, the more trust the audience has with the creator. Does that make sense? So if you have Okay, Lisa says, I have 185 people. I have 185 people on Instagram. Fantastic. Lisa, that's amazing. Here's the other mindset I want you guys to think about. Okay. 185 people on Instagram. Jenny said, I've got 255 on my Facebook page. If you had 255 people in your kitchen, you would run out of snacks, my friend, right? You would be like, okay, I have to this is crazy. I'm running out of toilet paper and snacks because this is a ton of people. You guys, when we think about numbers, we have a tendency to get in our own way and be like, yeah, but my number's not very good. My number's kind of small. Each one of those 255 people that Jenny gave me in her number, each one of those people has chosen to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, or hit the follow button, right? Every single one of those people has chosen to follow you. So what's your privilege and obligation? To serve those people as with as much value as you can. So that's the first thing I really wanted to work on is whatever number you have, whatever your number is, 255, 187 was Lisa's, where you said your count was. Kat said 724. 724 people is a whole hell of a lot of people, right? That's a lot of people. That would fill up like 2 ballrooms. That's like a conference center size number of people. When you start thinking about numbers as real people that you have an opportunity to serve and impact, it changes how you think about those numbers. The bigger the numbers, the more abstract it almost gets. Like I remember when, some of you might remember this. This is going back a little while, okay? I remember when the Socialite Suite passed 85,000 people. And the number was significant to me. 85,000 people, okay? The reason that number was significant was because that's the number of people that fit in Lambeau Field. And I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. So to me, putting that number of people into one Facebook group that chose to be there was the equivalent of how many people could fit into Lambeau Field. That was the number in my head, okay? So that's the first thing I want to talk about. When you really think about translating that number to an actual physical number of people, the number suddenly seems much bigger and more impactful, okay? So the first thing I want you to really wrap your head around is, wow, I have the privilege and opportunity to help these 137 people, these 500 people, okay? That first mindset is, okay, I can envision those people in a ballroom in Lambeau Field, whatever your comparison point is. That milestone number, that idea of that translating to exactly how many people that looks like in person really helps cement that is a real positive, impactful number, okay? Now, I started today with the idea that the more followers you have, the people who have millions and millions of followers, they are not responding to every one of their comments on their own, okay? They have teams, they have social media agencies, they have virtual assistants, they've got people who do all that. Right? They're not responding to their own comments. Do you really think when you comment on a big giant influencers, they have teams and people that do that, right? I'm not building a relationship with a Kardashian. You are building a relationship with me, however. So the thing I wanted to really second talk about is, how do you know what engagement number is good? Like, what should you be striving for? Anything for a super mega a mega influencer, like I'd say over 100,000, anything that's sort of at that next level, over 100,000, you're probably looking at a more suppressed engagement rate of something like 1% or less. 1% or less. But for people like us, people who are small influencers, right? Micro influencers, the mindset of this influencer space, if we're getting engagement somewhere between 2, 3, 4%, we're doing pretty good, guys. We're doing pretty good. 2, 3, 4%, because the engagement's going to go up when the audience trusts that you're actually the one they're engaging with, not simply some agency or social media team. That's a big mindset shift as well, right? So here's how you find your numbers. Now I'm going to show you my real numbers. I'm going to show you my real numbers, you guys. This is literally real numbers, like as of right this very second. So one of the reasons I switched over to beacons. Now, if you remember a few weeks ago, we talked about your link in bio. If you see a like a link tree or a campsite, I switched over to beacons. And the reason I switched over to beacons, and I'm going to ask my mod crew to drop the beacons link shortly, not yet, but shortly, is because beacons calculates your engagement rates for you. Got like 712 followers, or I've only got 219 followers. But friends, if 20 or 30 of them are engaging with you, your engagement rate's like through the roof, right? So here's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like when somebody comes over and looks at your data. And this is something you can create yourself. Okay, so give me 1 second. Let me get myself organized here. And we're going to take a look at my real numbers, like full disclosure. I always walk the talk, friends. I always tell you what I'm doing and show you what I'm doing so you can recreate it. Okay. This is the free version of beacons, Lisa. You do not need a paid version for this. Now, this is not a training on how to set up beacons, but I want to show you what this looks like. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to share my beacon screen. Okay. And this is what mine looks like when you go to beacons. If you just go to sweetbrenda.com, you'll end up here. But this is what it looks like. This is my free resources, my digital resources, my recommended tools, and all kinds of goodies, okay? Here, under the link that says, let's collab right here. This is technically your media kit. If somebody was like, I want to reach out to this lady, I want to do a collaboration with her, I want to see what her engagement looks like. I want to take a look at what her engagement statistics look like with her community. So I'm going to go click on View My Media Kit. Now, I've already gone through and I've already created and embedded Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And like I said, my smallest audience is on YouTube. Cumulatively, it's at 84,000, but any individual single channel is not that big, okay? So when you scroll down and you've already put in the ones that Beacons connects to, it's going to give you your engagement rate for you. So out of 15,000 followers, I have a 3% engagement rate. Not too bad on Instagram, hey? On TikTok, I've got a 5.3% engagement rate. Not too bad. On YouTube, I've got a 2.1% engagement rate. Again, not too bad. If I said between 2, 3, 4, 5%, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. Okay. So Marg, that comment right there, just checked my engagement on Instagram and it's right around 4%, doing better than I thought. That's the mindset shift, friends. That's the mindset where we have to look at, is my number approximately where I would expect it to be based on my audience? And I can see all kinds of really cool data. So if I go in here and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all this data. My average real-time watch is 13 seconds. My total Reels watch time is 27 hours. My average story views is 160. If somebody was looking to contact me, and these aren't even my main channels, Facebook's my main channel. So if somebody was looking to contact me and wanted to collaborate and they wanted to see how I could promote them to my audience, they have a really, really clear view of what my data is. Friends, this is how you look at the mindset of being a micro-influencer. So I'm a huge fan of Beacons. This is set up on Beacons over here. And this is one of the things that you can add automatically to your Beacons profile for free. It's so cool. In fact, I wasn't planning on doing this, but you know me, I can't stop. I just can't stop. I have to keep going. So let me show you how to do it. Okay. On the back end of Beacons, over under your link in bio, see where it says up here, let's collab. One of the items or one of the blocks that you can add, when you add a block, one of the blocks you can add is I don't know. One of these is follower count. No, that's not the one. Contact form, brand deals, live events. Oh, maybe it's because I already added it. Images, links. Layout. Is this it? I don't know. One of these has media kit in it. I'm obviously not prepared to dig around and show you. But when you dig around, you show this in here. Okay. That's how you're putting it in. Facebook Nikki, good question. Facebook is not us under brand collabs. Thank you, Betsy. I knew it was there somewhere. Okay. Facebook is not one of the ones that Beacons integrates to natively. So you would have to put your own number in, but it's not pulling your engagement stats for you. Okay. It's not pulling those engagement metrics. So the micro influencer mind shift I really wanted everyone to embrace today and think about was two things. Number one, if you convert whatever your following number is, whatever your follower count is, and if I go back to mine, if I go back over here and I literally just made the connection to the analogy I shared a minute ago. If I go back over here and I go to let's collab and I go to my media kit, this number here, that's Lambeau Field right there. That's my Lambeau Field number. Cumulatively across all my social channels, that's my Lambeau Field number. That's it, right? So when I look at that, I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of people. That's a heck of a lot of people. Now they're scattered across a bunch of different places, but in general, that's a whole lot of people. That's the mindset shift that behind every number is a real person. The second thing I wanted to talk about today was what is a good engagement rate? The smaller your following, the higher your engagement rate likely is. Okay. You probably have 2, 3, 4, 5% engagement on any given channel. And if you're getting 2, 3, 4, 5% engagement, you're kind of killing it. You're doing just fine. Okay. The bigger you get, the engagement rate goes down a little bit because the average, I'm not going to comment on a Kardashian because they're not the ones responding to me. I don't need, really? So just something to think about today, friends. So this week is really about mindset. I wanted to spend some time on mindset today because we tend to get ourselves all wrapped around the axle on, I don't have enough followers and I know I'm not making any sales. Here, listen, if you've got 200 people in a Facebook page and 10 to 15 of them engage regularly and 3 to 4 of them shop with you, you're doing great. That's your funnel. You're doing just fine. And one of those people ends up joining your team or something along those lines, you're doing just fine. Our goal has to be top funnel growth to grow our audience, but I don't want anyone to get caught up in my number is so low that it's not worth providing value. Nope, not at all. How do you keep up? Nikki said, how do you keep up with your personal socials and business socials? I forget to switch. That is tricky, isn't it, Nikki? It is part of building that content rhythm for your own business. So I have a little bit of the same struggle, full disclosure, because now that I'm a team of one, I create everything myself. I do have a tendency to forget. Like I haven't posted on my page in a couple days. I should go do that. So what I also do, and this is also one of my tricks, and I wasn't planning on going into this, but I'll share it for Nikki, is here's also a trick of what I do. This topic, the micro influencer mindset. Okay. Let me share the link again in the comments. This is the topic for today. Okay. This blog post, I'll be talking about it all week. So I will take that blog post. I'm doing a live about it. It went out via email today. You'll see it pop up in my Instagram stories. You'll see it pop up in conversation. I call that a content cascade. So I take one blog post every week and I simply talk about the exact same thing across all my socials. I'm going live, goes out via email. I'll have a conversation or two about it. I'll share the Beacons link if you want to make sure you can get your own data. And again, it's free. There's no reason not to. Okay. So if my mods can drop the Beacons link as well, that would be super helpful. Becky, Betsy, if you could drop the Beacons link as well. Okay. So this is absolutely the topic of the day. Okay, friends. So Nikki, I hope that answers your question. Is I have a tendency to take one topic and I just cascade it everywhere. Okay. Jenny said average engagement for Instagram says 5.7%. So Jenny, you're kind of killing it. Your grid strategy has been paying off, has it not? Right? You're building up that presence. That's the goal. Your engagement's fantastic. I love it. Lisa said, one of my videos I put out in my community had 1,000 views in 4 days. Great. That's awesome news. I love it. So friends, you kind of see what I'm talking about? Two major things today. Number one, behind every number is a real person. And when you put those people into a physical location, like into your kitchen or into a ballroom at a hotel or into a convention center or into Lambeau Field, suddenly it looks like a whole lot of people. You're like, wow, I have a lot of people to help. I can help a lot of people with my stuff. Okay. And then secondly, if you're getting 2, 3, 4, 5%, there is no reason for you to be like, I don't have enough engagement. Your engagement's killing it. Okay. And the way you can find out what your engagement number is specifically for Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube is by using the Beacons process, looking at the Beacons media kit, and following that, setting up your Beacons to create that media kit through a brand collection, brand collaborative. Okay. Those analogies help a lot. Gosh, I am so glad to hear that, Monica. That's my goal, right? When you put a lot of people in one room, it looks like a lot of people. And they've all chosen to follow, subscribe, like, or opt in to your content. They've chosen to see your stuff. That mindset shift right there gives us that shift into abundance, that shift into, wow, I really have a privilege and an opportunity to help these people in some magical way, whatever I do. And if I could get 3, 4, 5% engaging with me, more are going to see it. But if I can get that many engaging, like, comment, sharing, I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job, friends. That's all it is. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great week. If whether you're following on Facebook or on YouTube, I'm going live in both places. Comment, engage, socialize. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what your numbers are. Try out Beacons. Tell me if you like it. We'll be talking about this topic all week long. And as always, thanks for being part of the suite.